Every culture has its demons, but what if the scariest ones are the ones we've forgotten? Before vampires slithered from their graves, before zombies shuffled through nightmares, there were ancient terrors, creatures so dreadful history tried to bury their names. Tonight, we dig them up. From brass-legged Greek shapeshifters to skinless horse demons and bat gods of death. These are the nightmares no one warned you about, the monsters that haunted ancient dreams and might still be lurking in ours. This is 10 forgotten nightmares from ancient myths you must know. Which one would you cast as the villain in a horror movie? Drop your pick in the comments, if you dare. Imagine midnight in ancient Athens. The moon hides, the air chills. Suddenly, clang, clang, a brass leg striking stone. She appears, one leg gleaming metal, one a donkey's hoof. Eyes burning, smile promising everything you desire. This is Empusa, a servant of Hecate. She haunted crossroads and graveyards, the places where the world grew thin. Empusa was more than a monster. She was temptation itself. A shapeshifter, luring men with beauty, then draining their blood and devouring their flesh. Even in comedies, her name brought dread. Her brass leg was a warning. Desire can be deadly. The Greeks feared her because she was a living metaphor for temptation, madness, and sudden death. She could look like your lover, then become your end. If you saw Empusa at the crossroads, would you speak or run? But Empusa's deadly beauty is nothing compared to the trickster waiting in the jungles of the Philippines. You're lost in the Philippine jungle. The trail repeats. The trees seem to move, and somewhere something laughs. The Tikbalang, tall as a tree, with a horse's head, a man's body, and the legs of a beast. He haunts forest paths, leading travelers in endless circles, just for fun. If you're rude or forget to ask permission, he might ride your back until you go mad. Sometimes a guardian, often a menace, always watching. No one, God, warrior, or mortal, could outwit him. Could you survive a jungle haunted by the Tikbalang? Yet his tricks are nothing compared to the chaos that once swallowed the world. Before gods ruled, before the world began, there was only hunger. Cipactli, crocodile fish monster covered in mouths, each one gnashing, devouring gods, men, and anything that moved. To create the world, the gods had to lure Cipactli out and tear it apart. But even in death, its hunger remains. The earth, made from its body, still feeds on blood through war and sacrifice. Cipactli was chaos before order, the jaws beneath creation. Would you walk on a world made from a monster? But the chaos of creation is nothing beside the dragon who nearly ended it all. 3 heads, 6 eyes, a body of writhing serpents. This is Aži Dahāka, Persian dragon demon, born to destroy the world. Created by evil itself, his breath spread plague, his heads whispered madness, his coils crushed cities. For 1,000 years he ruled in darkness, until a blacksmith chained him in the mountains. But legends say he's still alive, still waiting, and when the world grows weak, he'll break free. If Aži Dahāka returned today, who would dare stop him? But apocalypse is nothing compared to the horror that crawls from the grave. Not all vampires sparkle. Some claw out of their graves, screaming. The Strigoi, undead spirits from Romanian folklore, feeding on the living. They could be anyone, a dead relative, a cursed child, a neighbor buried wrong. At night they rise, draining blood, spreading illness, cursing dreams. Villagers dug up bodies, drove stakes through hearts, burned the remains, because once a Strigoi rose, it kept rising, night after night. They blurred the line between life and death. You never knew who would rise next. Would you survive a village plagued by the Strigoi? But the undead are nothing compared to what storms bring from the sea. No skin, no mercy, no escape. The Nuckelavee, a skinless horse demon with a human torso fused to its back. Muscles exposed, veins bulging, one blazing red eye. Its breath poisons land and sea. Nothing grows where it walks. Only fresh water can stop it, but you have to reach it first. Its nature turned inside out, a living curse. Would you face the Nuckelavee or dive into the river to escape? But sometimes the most beautiful monsters are the deadliest. She sits by the waterfall, plucking her biwa, her smile as inviting as spring sunlight. Her voice is a melody that draws you closer, promising comfort, maybe even love. But her touch? Silk and death. Jorōgumo, the spider woman of Japanese legend. When a spider survives for 4 centuries, it gains the power to become human. She weaves illusions as easily as webs, enchanting travelers until they're hopelessly entangled in her spell. In her lair, bones dangle from the ceiling like wind chimes, swaying in the damp breeze. The air is thick with the scent of moss and decay. She seduces those who wander too close, her beauty hiding 8 spindly legs, venomous fangs, and silk strong enough to bind a grown man for dinner. She turns kindness into a trap, beauty into a snare, and every act of compassion into a fatal mistake. Sometimes she appears as a distressed woman in need of help, other times as a mysterious hostess with a secret smile, but always her true nature waits just beneath the surface. The lesson? Even the most beautiful things can be deadly. Could you resist Jorōgumo's melody? Or would you be caught in her web? But in the deserts of Mesopotamia, a different kind of guardian awaited. One whose gaze could freeze even the bravest hero. Taller than mountains, born from the blood of gods, half man, half scorpion, full nightmare. The Aqrabuamelu guarded the gates of the sun in ancient Mesopotamian myth. Their poison-tipped tails could kill armies. Their voices delivered omens, death. doom, forbidden truths. Even Gilgamesh, the greatest hero, trembled before them. They were ancient sentinels, watchers at the edge of the world. To pass them meant facing your deepest fears and surviving. Would you face a scorpion man just to seek the wisdom of the gods? But the guardians of wisdom are nothing compared to the vengeance of a mother's pain. She died in childbirth. Now she births terror. The Pontianak, vengeful spirit of a woman who died while pregnant, pale, dressed in white, with long black hair that hides her face, and a gaping hole where her back should be. She smells like frangipani flowers just before she strikes. Her favorite prey? Men, especially the cruel and dishonest. Some say she lives in banana trees. Others say she's behind you right now, if your neck hairs suddenly rise. She reminds us that pain, especially a woman's pain, can echo beyond the grave. Could you survive a night where the Pontianak walks? But even a mother's vengeance pales before the God who rules death itself. In the deepest caves of Xibalba, the Mayan underworld, something waits, listening, hunting. Camazotz, death bat, god of night, sacrifice, and blood, with leathery wings spanning the darkness and a blade-like nose that could sever heads in one strike. He was death incarnate. The Maya didn't just fear him, they worshipped him. Camazotz didn't haunt dreams, he haunted the path to the afterlife itself. Some say he flies still, hiding in caves, feeding on fear, waiting for the sun to die so his eternal night can begin. If Camazotz flew over your village, would anyone be left by dawn? These weren't fairy tales. These were the monsters ancient people truly feared. Creatures so terrifying, entire civilizations built rituals just to keep them at bay. Some guarded the gates of the underworld. Others broke free from it. All remind us that what's ancient doesn't always stay buried. So this Halloween, when the night grows cold and shadows stretch long, remember these forgotten horrors, because somewhere in the dark corners of the world, they might still be waiting. Want more mythological nightmares? Hit subscribe and join me as we explore haunted legends, cursed gods, and ancient monsters right here on Salazar's Timeless Treasures. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite monster, or the one you never want to meet, and subscribe for more forgotten terrors and mythological mysteries. Sweet dreams, if you can manage them.